Semi-Slav defense, main line, Stoltz variation, 6, Bd6 7.b3 008.b2. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. Both players had incredible precision in the endgame. Opening with the queen's pawn. The move d5 establishes control over the e4 square, frees up the light-squared bishop, and builds a presence in the center. A wing pawn is available in the queen's gambit to attack the center and divert black's attention away from the e4 square. The d5 pawn is supported by c6 in the Slav defense. The d4 pawn is safeguarded and under control thanks to nf3. nf6 develops the knight toward the center, adds support to the d5 pawn, and controls the e4 square. e3 supports the d4 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop and queen to develop. The d5 pawn is supported by e6 and the bishop on the dark squares can advance. This develops a knight from its starting square, activating it. Bd7 develops the knight toward the center and fights for control of e5. qc2 develops the queen and controls the e4 square. By growing a bishop from its initial square, this activates it. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling kingside tends to be safer because the king is further from the center. By growing a bishop from its initial square, this activates it. This strikes at the center, countering the opponent's ability to grab space. This threatens to kick a knight. This is an equal trade. It is a fair deal after all captures. This wins a tempo by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. The bishop is now on a square that is more secure. This blocks the check from an opposing bishop. This is the only move that works. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. A pawn kicks the opposing knight, forcing it to move or risk being captured. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This is the only good move. Backs off. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. It is the last book move. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. It is excellent. This keeps the material balance in check with good commerce. It is quite good. Recaptures. This poses a queen-winning danger. It is ideal. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. This stops the opponent from being able to win a queen. It is best. This activates a piece and simultaneously wins time by attacking an opposing queen. It is good. This moves the queen to safety. It is good. This connects the rooks, which helps them coordinate together in the future. This threatens to fork pieces. It is excellent. This poses a threat to strike a knight. This prevents the adversary from forking pieces. It is ideal. This offers an equal trade of pieces. It is good. This misses an opportunity to add a defender to a vulnerable knight. It is an inaccuracy. This ignores a better way to recapture a piece. It is an inaccuracy. This develops a piece while also winning a tempo on a queen. It is good. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. It is best. The knight becomes more active as a result, gaining control over more of the board. It is quite good. A solid choice. It is excellent. This gains time by putting a queen in danger and getting it to flee. It is quite good. This buys time by putting a knight in danger and getting it to flee. That's good. The knight is thus brought to safety. That's good. This attacks a knight and gains a tempo when the knight retreats. It is ideal. This is an equal trade. It is best. Recaptures. It is ideal. This puts the opposing rook in a position to lose control of the open file. It is ideal. The rook is now on a square that is more secure. It is ideal. When the queen retreats, this attack wins a tempo. It is ideal. This defends the attacked pawn. This threatens to add pressure on a pinned knight. It is best. This prevents the opponent from being able to add pressure on a pinned knight. It is best. By posing a threat to a knight and compelling it to flee, this wins a tempo. It is ideal. This reveals an attack that poses a threat to a rook. It is ideal. There were worse moves, but also something much better. It is an inaccuracy. That's a decent move. That's good. Among the best actions. It is quite good. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. It is best. Backs off. White is equal at this point in the endgame. It is ideal. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. That is a logical response. It is quite good. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. That's fine. It is good. This divides up parts by launching multiple attacks at once. It is ideal. This steps away from the checking queen. It is best. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. So, a knight is attached to the king. It is ideal. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. It was a free pawn there. It is ideal. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. This moves away from the knight in shining armor. It is ideal. This defends the attacked pawn. It is best. This prevents a queen on the other side from checking. It is ideal. This is an equal trade. It is best. Recaptures. It is ideal. This moves the queen to safety. It is best. What I would have advised is that. It is ideal. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. It is a fair deal after all captures. It is ideal. Takes back. It is best. Balanced. Neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. Both players had incredible precision in the endgame.